My beloved child, come close, still your heart. Breathe slowly. Let every distraction fall to the side, just for this moment, because I have something important to speak into your spirit. You've sensed it, haven't you? A quiet trembling beneath the surface of life. Not just in the world around you, but inside your own soul. Something is shifting. You can't quite explain it, and others may not notice, but you feel it. The air has changed. The ground beneath you feels unfamiliar, and deep within, a question has begun to rise. Is this the end of something, or the beginning? Let me answer you gently, my dear one. This is not the end as you fear it. It is the end of what needed to pass, and the beginning of what must now rise. You are standing at a threshold, and thresholds are holy ground. They are the thin spaces where endings touch beginnings, where what you once held dear must be released, so that what is destined can take root. I know change makes you uneasy. I see how tightly you hold on to the familiar, even when it no longer serves your growth. You cling to what once felt safe. But child, the nest must crack for the bird to fly. The seed must split open to become a tree. The caterpillar must surrender to stillness in darkness before the wings can emerge. This is that moment for you. What you're feeling is not random discomfort. It is spiritual labor. You are birthing something eternal inside of you. And yes, it feels like breaking. But oh child, it is really becoming. You're not being undone. You're being reshaped. You're not falling apart. You're falling into alignment with who you were always meant to be. I know this process feels tender. There are tears you don't understand. Fatigue that doesn't make sense. Sudden shifts in relationships, dreams, routines. But let me assure you, none of it is meaningless. None of it has caught me off guard. Every detail of your journey is known to me. And more than known, it is held with compassion, with wisdom, with infinite care. Right now, you may feel like everything is uncertain. The headlines scream of unrest. The earth trembles with change. Even within your own mind, storms may rage. But let me say this clearly. The end has not come. I have only just begun. I am not finished with you. I am not finished with the world. I am not done healing, restoring, renewing. The enemy would have you believe that it's all falling apart. That darkness is winning, that hope is lost. But he is a liar, and I am still God. I do not abandon my creation. I do not forget my promises. I do not leave my children in the wilderness without also making a way through it. Right now, I am closer than your next breath. I am speaking peace to the waves that rise in your heart. I am whispering reassurance into the corners of your mind that have grown afraid. You do not need to fear this shift, because I am in it. I go before you, I walk beside you, and I dwell within you. Every shaking is an invitation to let go of what's shallow, to return to what is sacred, to trade panic for purpose, to choose trust over control. My child, do not let the noise of the world drown out my still, small voice. Do not let fear write the story of your future. You are not abandoned. You are not lost. You are not weak for trembling. You are human, and you are mine. So come rest here. Lay down your weapons, your worries, your timelines. Let me carry what you cannot. Let me remind you that even in endings, I am a God of resurrection. This is not the end. This is the moment you are being reawakened. And when you step through this threshold, you will not be who you were. You will be who you were always becoming. My beloved child, let me take you back to the moments that felt too heavy to carry, back to the nights when silence was louder than your prayers, back to the places in your memory that still make your chest tighten and your eyes well with tears. Yes, I want to revisit those spaces with you, not to hurt you, never to shame you, but so you may finally see the truth you missed in those moments. I was there. You may not have felt me. Your heart may have been numb. Your faith may have been threadbare, stretched and fraying under the weight of your pain. But child, I never left. When you sat quietly in your room, staring into the dark, I was the unseen presence sitting beside you, placing my hand gently over your breaking heart. When your tears soaked your pillow and you whispered, "God, are you even real?" I wasn't offended. I wasn't distant. I was right there, closer than your breath, catching every tear in my palm. You see, I don't wait for you to be strong before I show up. I don't withdraw when you doubt me. I lean in. I gather every piece of your weariness, and I hold it as tenderly as a mother holds her crying child. You think I was absent because the pain didn't stop. But my beloved, I didn't promise to always remove the storm. I promised to walk with you through it. And I did. I was there when the betrayal shattered your trust. When you sat in the doctor's office, heart pounding. When the door slammed. When the phone never rang. When you wondered if anyone would ever truly see you, love you, stay. I was there when you blamed yourself. When you repeated old lies to yourself like familiar mantras. I'm not enough. I'm too broken. I'll never change. I heard everyone, and still I stayed. Because my love is not fragile. It does not depend on your performance. It does not grow weary when you do. It does not give up, even when you've given up on yourself. Child, I want you to know something that no one else may have ever told you. You were never a lone note for 1 second. Not in the heartbreak. Not in the hospital room. Not in the divorce papers. Not in the funeral pew. Not in the nights you didn't want to wake up the next morning. I saw it all, and I wept with you. Yes, the God of the universe wept with you. I am not a distant, silent judge. I am a father, a shepherd, a healer, a comforter, a friend who sticks closer than a brother. And now, as you revisit those chapters of your story, I want you to hold my hand and see them through my eyes. You did not fail. You endured. You survived what should have broken you. You carried more than anyone knew. And through it all you kept going. And I kept you. Even when you didn't know that's what was happening. Even when you cursed the heavens and screamed at me in the car. Even when you felt numb and dead inside. I was guarding your heart from complete collapse. I was holding together your spirit when it felt like dust. I was speaking life into you while you slept. I was sending people, songs, sunsets, and small whispers of grace, hoping one of them would reach you. And sometimes they did. Remember that one moment, the song that felt like it was written just for you. The stranger who smiled at you when you needed it most. The breeze that felt like a hug out of nowhere. That was me. Child, your story is not a collection of random sorrows. It is a testimony, a record of resilience, faith, and unseen grace. I do not waste pain. I redeem it. I do not rush your healing. I walk with you through every slow, trembling step. So if you're still carrying the lie that I abandoned you, lay it down now. It has never been true. I have always been here, and I always will be. From your first breath to your last sigh, and beyond it into eternity, I remain. Now, take a deep breath with me. You made it through more than you thought you could. And now, we walk together into the healing that follows. My beloved child, I want you to pause for a moment and feel this truth echo through your being. You are not broken beyond repair. You are not merely someone who survived. You are someone I am restoring, reshaping, and gently remaking into something sacred. Yes, there were seasons when you barely made it, when the goal was just to breathe, to get through the day, to not collapse beneath the weight of it all. I saw that. I honored that. I walked beside you through every step. But now, beloved, I am calling you out of that survival space. Not with judgment, not with pressure, but with invitation. because I never meant for you to just endure life. I created you to live it, to awaken, to feel, to love without fear, to trust again not just in people but in me, and yes, to dream. I know the very thought of hoping again stirs something hesitant inside you, because hope has let you down before, dreams have died before, and when you love deeply, you risk deeply, and you've bled from that risk before. But I want you to know something holy. Hope is not your enemy. It is your inheritance. You were born to carry vision, to walk with a sense of purpose and possibility, to imagine a future where peace isn't just for others but also for you. Let me say this plainly, child. You don't have to stay in the place where fear runs the show. Fear was useful once when you needed it to survive. It told you to stay small, to not expect too much, to keep your heart guarded. It whispered that you were safest in hiding. But that season is over now. What once protected you is now limiting you. And I am gently, lovingly calling you out of the cave, out of the false safety of numbness, out of the mindset that says, I'll always be like this, out of the identity that wears pain like a name tag. You are not your wound. You are not your diagnosis. You are not your lowest moment. You are mine. And I see more in you than you see in yourself right now. Where you see tiredness, I see perseverance. Where you see scars, I see stories of grace. Where you see delay, I see divine timing. Where you see failure, I see foundation. Child, I am not trying to rush you. Healing is not a race. This is not about pretending to be okay when you're not. It's about recognizing that being in process is holy too. You are not behind. You are not late. You are blooming at your own pace, under my careful watch, and every day I am leading you one step closer to wholeness. I want you to begin believing again, not just that I exist, but that I am for you. Not just that I created the stars, but that I also designed your future with hope. Not just that miracles happen, but that one is happening in you. The part of you that went silent is beginning to speak again. The part of you that went numb is beginning to feel again. The part of you that gave up is starting to breathe again. And that is no small thing. That is resurrection. That is my spirit reviving what you thought had died. So, my beloved, lift your head, not because life is perfect, not because the struggle is gone, but because you are not the same person you were before. You are stronger, wiser, more compassionate, more in tune with what really matters. You may not have chosen the fire, but you are being refined by it. And nothing forged in fire comes out weaker. You are becoming gold. And soon, others will see what I already see. Not just a survivor, but a radiant reflection of my faithfulness. My beloved child, I see the questions that keep circling in your mind. The silent ones, the relentless ones. Why did that happen? What now? Where are you taking me? And the hardest of all, how can I move forward when I don't understand what happened? Let me speak gently to that part of you that's still waiting for clarity. That part of you that thinks, if I just knew what this meant, then I could rest. But child, listen closely. You don't need full understanding to move forward. You only need trust. You see, clarity is comforting, but it is not the foundation of your journey. Faith is. Faith is what leads you when your vision is clouded. Faith is what steadies you when logic fails. Faith is what anchors your soul when your plans unravel. And faith, my child, is not pretending to be certain. It's choosing to follow even when you're not. I never required you to map out the entire journey. I never demanded that you figure it all out before taking the next step. That's my job. Your job is to stay close, to listen, to obey the quiet whispers, to take the one next right step even if it's small, even if it trembles, even if you take it with tears in your eyes. You keep waiting for the full picture. You think, if I could just see how this ends, I'd feel better. But my love, if I showed you everything now, it would overwhelm you. It would steal the intimacy we are building together step by step, day by day. Because I'm not trying to simply get you to a destination. I'm trying to deepen our relationship along the way. Every uncertain moment has a purpose. Not to confuse you, but to teach you how to lean on me. Not to punish you, but to refine your ears to hear my voice more clearly. Not to delay your destiny, but to prepare your character to carry it. What if your questions are not barriers, but invitations? Invitations to a deeper trust, a more honest faith, a closer walk. You say you don't know the way. Good, because I never asked you to know the way. I asked you to follow me. I am the way, and I never lead aimlessly. Every twist, every detour, every unexpected turn, I am weaving it into something you will one day thank me for. But until then, walk with me. Walk with me when the road narrows. Walk with me when the lights dim. Walk with me when others walk away. Walk with me when the questions get loud and the answers stay silent. Because I am not just ahead of you, I'm beside you. I'm behind you. I'm within you. And when you reach the next open place, when the path clears, when the sun breaks through, when the fog finally lifts, you'll realize something beautiful. You didn't need all the answers. You just needed to stay with me. So let me remind you today, it's okay not to know. It's okay to feel unsure. It's okay to take slow, awkward steps. Just don't stop moving. Don't stop trusting. Don't stop hoping. Because I haven't stopped leading you. This journey is still unfolding. And what looks like confusion now will one day become a story of divine direction. You'll look back and see my fingerprints on every page. And you'll know I was never lost. I was just being led differently. My beloved child, bring it to me. All of it. Yes, even that. The pain you haven't put into words. The anger you've tried to bury. The fear you're ashamed to name. The disappointment you dressed up in a smile. The guilt that clings like dust even after you've tried to clean yourself up. You've been holding so much. Trying to stay composed. Trying to stay kind. Trying to stay strong for everyone else. But inside, there's a deep ache that you've been afraid to share. You worry it's too much, too messy, too dark, too complicated, too unworthy of my time. But my child, nothing you bring to me will ever scare me away. I do not flinch at your brokenness. I do not recoil from your rage. I do not retreat from your doubt. I do not resent your questions. I welcome them, because I am not here for your performance. I am here for you. I didn't create you to pretend. I created you to be known. Deeply. Fully. Even in the places you've been told are too ugly to reveal. Let me speak directly to the part of you that thinks, I should be past this by now. You are not late. You are not failing. You are not weak because your wounds still sting. You are healing. And healing is not linear. It's not always pretty. It's not always quick, but it is always welcome here with me. You don't need to sanitize your grief before you bring it to my altar. You don't need to edit your confession before whispering it in my presence. You don't need to earn the right to be comforted. You already have it. Do you remember the Psalms? David screamed. He wept. He accused. He doubted. And still I called him a man after my own heart. Why? Because he was real with me. Because he brought his whole heart, even the chaotic parts to my throne. Because he let me into his real life, not just the polished version. And that's what I'm inviting you into now. You can rant. You can cry. You can be silent. You can collapse. Just let it be in my arms. You weren't made to carry this weight alone. Your soul was not designed to hold in every emotion like a dam on the verge of bursting. I see how exhausted you are. You've been brave for too long, strong for too many, and now it's your turn to be held. So, child, let me hold you. Let me be your safe place. Let me be your home. Let me be the one who hears the things you're afraid to admit out loud. And when you do, here's what you'll discover. I won't walk away. I won't shame you. I won't throw your pain back in your face. I won't say, that's too much. Instead, I will say, thank you for trusting me. I'm here now. Let's sit with this together. Let me lift this off your shoulders. Because I am not just your God when you are singing. I am your God when you are sobbing. I am not just the light on your good days. I am the presence in your shadows. And I'm not leaving. Not now. Not ever. So loosen your grip, child. You don't have to carry this alone anymore. Let me in. Let me love you right where you are. No conditions, no shame, no timeline, just grace, just presence, just me, my beloved child. Can you feel it? That subtle shift inside of you, like a breath you didn't know you were holding, is finally exhaling. Like a window long shuttered is letting in light again. Like chains, invisible yet heavy, are beginning to crack. That's freedom. Not the loud kind that bursts through with noise and fanfare, but the gentle, steady kind that whispers, you are no longer a prisoner. I know you've worn your pain like a second skin. It became a part of your identity, not by choice, but by necessity. It protected you. It explained you. It helped you survive. But child, you were never meant to stay in survival mode. You were born to live, to rise, to dance, to breathe without fear, to rest without guilt, to walk through this world unburdened, not because it's easy, but because you've learned to lay your burdens at my feet. So here's what I want you to know today. Freedom is not a destination, it's a daily invitation. It's not something far away. It's not waiting for you on the other side of perfect healing or answered prayers. It's here, now. In the moment you say, I don't have to carry that anymore. You may ask, but how do I walk in freedom when the past still hurts? When the memories still echo? When the people who hurt me never apologized? When I still mess up? And here's my answer. You walk in freedom by choosing truth over trauma. You walk in freedom by choosing presence over performance. You walk in freedom by choosing my voice over the inner critic that mimics your fears. Freedom isn't the absence of scars. It's the refusal to let your scars define your future. It's waking up and saying, today I choose peace even if yesterday was chaos. Today I choose forgiveness 7 if the pain is still healing. Today, I choose to believe that I am worthy of joy, even if joy has been a stranger. Child, you don't have to earn this freedom. You don't have to prove you deserve it. It was paid for in full with love, with sacrifice, with my blood. I broke the chains long before you realized you were shackled. Now, I'm gently placing the key in your hand and saying, you're free. Walk with me, but hear me clearly. Freedom does not mean you never struggle again. It means you no longer struggle alone. It means that when shame creeps in, you know where to take it. That when fear returns, you speak truth over it. That when the past comes knocking, you don't answer because you don't live there anymore. You live here, in this sacred present, with me, with hope, with grace. And yes, freedom will feel awkward at first. You've been in pain so long it became familiar. And freedom, real freedom, feels wild and uncertain and kind. You might second guess it. You might wonder if you're doing it right. But I'm not grading your healing. I'm celebrating your courage. Every small choice to believe again, to hope again, to smile again, that is victory. So take off the labels others placed on you. Take off the roles you performed just to survive. Take off the guilt that was never yours to carry, and put on joy, put on rest, put on peace like a garment tailored for your soul, because that's what I created you for. Not endless striving, not silent suffering, but life, full, abundant, free. So breathe, my child, not just with your lungs but with your soul. The war inside you is quieting. The lies are losing power. The old scripts are being rewritten. You are not who you were, and that is not a loss. That is a miracle. You are walking into the next chapter unchained, and I am walking beside you, smiling because I always knew this day would come. My beloved child, before you even opened your eyes this morning, before you spoke a word, made a decision, or checked anything off your list, I loved you. Not the future you, not the more spiritual, more disciplined, more healed version of you, not the one who prays every day, never doubts, always smiles, always serves. Know you right now, the messy one, the tired one, the one who sometimes snaps when they're overwhelmed, the one who still hasn't forgiven themselves for that thing they don't talk about, the one who tries hard but still stumbles. I know every flaw, every fear, every hidden thought, and still I call you mine. You've spent so much of your life trying to be good enough to be loved, good enough to be chosen, good enough to be seen, good enough to be safe. But here's what I want you to hear, with no confusion. You already are. You don't need to audition for my affection. You don't need to impress me. You don't need to present a filtered version of yourself to gain access to my heart. You have it, entirely. You think your imperfections disqualify you, but they're not barriers. They're the very places where my grace wants to live, because I am not looking for perfection. I'm looking for connection. What touches me most deeply is not your polished image, but your willingness to be real with me, to show up honestly, to let me into the corners of your life you've tried to clean before letting anyone in. You may feel like a contradiction, hopeful and hurting, grateful and grieving, strong and struggling. But to me, you are whole. You are not a problem to solve. You are a soul to be loved. You are not a project. You are a beloved presence I long to walk with. So come to Meno when you feel ready, not when you've fixed it all, not when the emotions settle or the doubts disappear. Come as you are. I can handle the raw version of you. I already see it. I already know. And still, my arms are open. There is no such thing as too much for me. Not your tears, not your anger, not your silence, not your distance. I am patient. I wait with love, not judgment. I pursue with tenderness, not pressure. Because I'm not trying to force you, I'm trying to free you. Free you from shame. Free you from perfectionism. Free you from the lies that say, I'm only lovable when I get it all right. You are not saved by your performance. You are saved by my promise. And my promise is this: nothing can separate you from my love. Not your failures, not your fears, not your regrets, not even your disbelief. When I chose you, I knew exactly what I was getting. And I still said, yes, that one. I want them, I love them. You've looked in the mirror and seen someone broken, but I look at you and see someone brave, someone in process, someone who, even in their lowest moment, still reached for me. And that matters, more than you know. So stop waiting to be better to believe you are beloved. You are beloved now, and there's nothing you can do to make me love you more or less, because my love is not based on your behavior. It's based on my being, and I do not change. You are not tolerated, you are treasured, not merely accepted but celebrated. You're not just included, you're invited, not to perform, but to belong. Not to impress, but to rest. Rest in the truth that this love doesn't expire, doesn't run out, doesn't waver when you do. It is as sure as the rising sun, as constant as the stars, as true as the breath in your lungs right now. And today, right where you are, I'm whispering it once more. So your soul never forgets, you are mine, and that is enough. My beloved child, I see the way you look toward the future, your heart both hopeful and hesitant. There's a part of you that wants to believe better days are coming, but another part that braces for disappointment. You ask yourself quietly, what if it falls apart again? What if I'm not strong enough this time? What if the rug gets pulled out from under Megan? And I say to you gently but clearly, you do not walk into tomorrow alone. I am not only the God of your past, the one who held you through storms and carried you through nights you thought would break you. I am not only the God of your present, the one who sits beside you right now, in your silence, in your questions, in your deep sighs. I am also the God of your future. I am already there, already preparing, already clearing paths and planting provision in the places you haven't even stepped into yet. You fear the unknown, but child, nothing is unknown to me. You think you're unprepared, but child, nothing catches me off guard. I go before you. I stand behind you. I surround you. There is no space in your future I have not already occupied. So breathe, not because everything is certain, but because I am certain, not because life is predictable, but because my presence is unwavering. Let's name the fear for what it is. A story the enemy tells to stop your steps. But I've written a different story, a truer one. And it begins with these words. Do not be afraid. You've heard them before, not just in sermons or scripture, but whispered by me in the quiet of your soul when your knees trembled, when you sat in a waiting room, when the phone rang and you already knew, when you woke up and the weight came crashing back in. I whispered then, and I'm whispering again now. You don't have to be afraid, because I'm not going anywhere. I'm not leaving when it gets hard. I'm not distant when it gets messy. I'm not frustrated when you hesitate. I'm not annoyed when you ask me to reassure you again and again. I delight in walking with you, and I'll do it as many steps as it takes. So walk into tomorrow, not because you have every detail sorted, but because you trust the one holding the map. You don't need to predict the outcome. You just need to keep saying yes to me. One day, one breath, one act of trust at a time. Yes, there may be unknowns. Yes, some doors may close. Yes, people may surprise you, some with love, some with disappointment. But none of that will undo the truth of this. You are being led. You are being kept. You are being held by a hand that cannot fail. And when your feet reach the next place, whatever it is, wherever it is, you'll find I was already there, and I'll be waiting with what you need. Grace for that day, strength for that challenge, joy for that season, peace for that purpose. So let go of trying to control it all. Let go of imagining the worst so you won't be caught off guard. Let go of the lie that you have to have it all together before you move forward. I don't call the perfect, I call the willing. And if all you have is a trembling heart and a whispered, okay, Lord, that's enough. I'll take it. I'll multiply it. I'll lead you forward with love. So take my hand again. Step into the next thing with me. Not with dread, not with pressure, but with peace. Because no matter what tomorrow brings, I bring you. And when you walk with me, even the unknown becomes holy ground. My beloved child, you've waited. Oh, how you've waited. You've held on when others let go. You've kept the flame flickering, even when the wind howled hard against it. And still, somewhere deep inside, you wonder, did I miss it? Did I hear wrong? Did God forget? No, my child, I haven't forgotten. Not a single prayer, not a single tear. Not a single sleepless night where you whispered into the dark, "Lord, when?" Let me tell you something tender and true. Delay is not denial. I see how the waiting wears on you, how it feels like everyone else is moving forward while you remain stuck, how you question whether I'm still working, when everything around you seems still and silent. But I am never idle. Even when you don't see it, I am active. Even when you don't feel it, I am near. My timing isn't based on convenience or pressure. It's based on wisdom, infinite, perfect wisdom, and I know exactly what needs to align. In you, around you, and beyond you, before the door opens. You see a clock. I see a canvas. You count hours. I paint eternity. You measure progress. I measure preparation. You want arrival. I want transformation. Because what I'm building in you is not just for now. It's for what's next. For what's deeper. For what's weightier. And some promises take time because they carry glory. And glory, child, is not rushed. I know how easy it is to compare your journey, to look at others and think, they got their answer. What about me? But hear me clearly. I'm not late. I'm personal. My work in you is not factory-made. It's handcrafted, shaped by grace, refined by fire, etched with patience. You are not forgotten in a crowd. You are seen in the secret place. You are not one in a million. You are one to me. And yes, there will be moments you want to give up. Moments you wonder if the promise was just your imagination. But even then, I will be faithful. Even then, I will remind you gently, persistently, that what I said I will do. You don't have to figure out the how. You just have to keep saying yes. Yes to hope. Yes to trusting again. Yes to staying open even when your heart wants to close. Because faith isn't passive. It's a seed that grows while no one is watching. Its roots deepening in unseen places. And one day, without warning, but not without purpose, it will break through the soil. The promise will rise. And it won't just answer your prayer, it will validate your process. You'll see why the waiting mattered. Why I said, not yet, instead of no. Why I asked you to grow before I asked you to go. Because when the promise comes, it won't crush you. It will fit you, like it was made for you because it was. So don't let time shake you. Let it shape you. Don't let delay make you doubt. Let it deepen your dependence. Don't let silence make you feel small. Let it stretch your spirit to hear me in new ways. I am not a man that I should lie. I don't tease. I don't trick. I don't forget. What I began in you, I will complete. And when it comes to pass, it will be better, richer, more meaningful than anything you could have built on your own. So hold on, not with clenched fists, but with open hands. Not with desperation, but with expectation. Because your waiting is not wasted, and your promise is still alive, kept safely in the hands of a God who finishes what he starts. And child, I'm not done yet. Not even close. My beloved child, there's something you've carried far too long. It's heavier than grief, heavier than fear. It's the quiet weight that sits at the base of your soul. Shame. You may not call it that. You might think of it as regret, or a lingering sense that you'll never quite make up for the mistakes of your past. But whatever name you've given it, it has slowly shaped how you see yourself, how you pray, how you dream, how you believe. And today, I want you to hear me clearly, with no confusion. You are not condemned. You are not dirty. You are not disqualified. You are forgiven, completely, eternally. I saw the whole story, not just the failure, not just the sin, but the pain beneath it, the fear behind it, the weakness around it. And still, I chose mercy. You see, I never expected perfection from you. Only honesty, only surrender, only the courage to let me hold what you thought made you unworthy of love. But child, I never loved you because you were flawless. I love you because you are mine. And nothing you've done, or no word, no choice, no chapter of your story can erase that truth. You think you need to earn your way back into my presence, but you never left my heart, not even for a moment. You don't need to prove yourself. You don't need to punish yourself. You don't need to walk on eggshells, hoping I'll forget what happened. I already forgave you, and I've buried your sin deeper than the ocean. It is gone, not ignored, paid for. Naught minimized, redeemed. I do not replay the past like you do. I don't sit in heaven rehearsing your shame. I am not keeping a record of your wrongs. I am writing a new record done, filled with grace, healing, and fresh beginnings. But to walk in that newness, you must let go of the old. So let me ask you, why are you still carrying what I've already lifted? Why do you still whisper words of self-blame when I've spoken over you? Clean, whole, free, you wear guilt like a cloak, but I have clothed you in righteousness. You replay the moment that broke you, but I am replaying the moment I restored you. There is no penance left to pay. There is no sentence still hanging over you. The cross was enough. Let those words settle deep. The cross was enough. Enough for your worst day. Enough for your deepest regret. Enough for what you did and what was done to you. Enough to break every chain you've tried and failed to shake on your own. I know you struggle to believe this kind of mercy. You think, surely there's a limit. But my love has no limits, no expiration date, no conditions. Just a forever invitation. Come, be free, be whole, be mine. Stop punishing yourself for what I already pardoned. Stop disqualifying yourself from a life of joy, peace, and purpose. You are not too broken. You are not too late. You are not too far gone. You are exactly where grace meets you. I am not ashamed of you. Let that sink in. I am not ashamed of you. I'm not pacing in heaven disappointed. I'm not waiting for you to grovel. I'm waiting for you to receive, to rest, to breathe again without the crushing weight of shame on your chest. So today, take a step toward freedom. Speak it aloud if you need to. I am forgiven. I am loved. I am free. Because this is what my love does. It doesn't just comfort. It restores. It doesn't just invite. It heals. It doesn't just stay, it transforms. So below, let go of the weight. Step out of the shadows. Live like one who has been forgiven. Because you have been. My beloved child, as this message comes to a close, I want you to pause not in haste, not in distraction, but with your heart open and your spirit still. Because these last words are not just a conclusion, they are a confirmation, a sacred seal of truth over everything I have whispered into your soul. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible. You are not merely tolerated by me. You are cherished, deeply, eternally, even on the days you doubt it, even on the days you feel too numb to pray, even when your past feels too messy and your future feels too far. You are still and always will be, my beloved. From your first breath to your final one, my love never wavers. You don't have to earn it. You don't have to compete for it. You don't have to maintain a performance for me to stay close. I stay because you are mine. I stay because I delight in you. Yes, you've had moments of drifting, seasons of silence, times when your heart felt too tired to even hope again. But you're here now, and I'm here too. And that's all I've ever wanted. Not your perfection, just your presence. My arms are not crossed in judgment. They are open in welcome. My voice is not cold or distant, it's warm, and it still calls your name. You are not too late to begin again. You are not too broken to be rebuilt. You are not too far to come home. So let me say this with tenderness and power. You were always loved long before you knew my name. You were always held even in the moments you felt most alone. You were always chosen not by accident, but with intention. And nothing, no mistake, no loss, no fear, no failure can separate you from that truth. You are the child I sing over when the world sleeps. The one I protect when you don't even realize danger passed you by. The one I wait for, whisper to, delight in, and never abandon. So breathe now with ease. Stand now with confidence. Hope now with new strength. Because your story isn't over. It's unfolding beautifully, intentionally, and with every page held in my hands. Yes, there will still be valleys. Yes, there will still be questions. But you will never face them alone. For I walk with you not as a distant observer, but as a faithful father. So walk forward, not in fear, but in love. Not in shame, but in peace. Not in confusion, but in the quiet knowing that you are seen, you are known, and you are guided by a love that does not let go. Child, lift your eyes. I'm not done with you. And the best is not behind, it's still ahead. Let this message echo beyond this moment. You were always loved, and you always will be. Amen. If these words touched your heart, take a moment to reflect and leave a comment below. Let them echo back to heaven with your amen. Let them be the beginning of your healing, not the end of a message. This love was always for you, and it still is, my beloved child. I know there were moments when you thought it was over, not just the dream, but the whole story. You felt too tired to hope again, too disappointed to try. Some days, even getting out of bed felt like facing a mountain with no summit. You thought, this must be the end, but I whisper to you now, softly but surely, it is not. The chapters you thought were final are only turning points. The endings you feared are doorways to something more meaningful. Because I, the author of all life, do not abandon my story halfway. You may not feel ready for what's next. You may feel small, unseen, uncertain. But I never required you to be ready, only to be willing. Willing to take one more breath, one more step, one more moment of trust. Let me remind you, no part of your life has been wasted. Not the tears, not the pain, not even the mistakes. I will redeem it all. Even the ashes will sing. You think you've messed up too much, but grace is not intimidated by your past. Grace walks straight into your broken places and rebuilds with love so fierce, the ruins become altars. You think you're behind, but I am not bound by time. What I restore is not just what was lost, but what was never even imagined. You think you're too weak, but I am strongest in your weakness. You think you have nothing left to offer, but your surrender is the greatest gift. Beloved, do not underestimate what I can do, with a heart that says, yes. Yes, even when it's trembling. Yes, even when it's been hurt. Yes, even when it doesn't know the way. I still have good plans for you. Plans that reach beyond survival, beyond maintenance, into miraculous renewal. You will laugh again. You will dance again. You will build again. You will love without fear and live without shame, because I, your God, am not done with you, not even close. My beloved child, you've been through so much, more than most people realize. You've learned how to keep going, how to keep smiling, how to carry pain in silence while still showing up for others. You've become strong, but that strength, though admirable, isn't the whole picture. Because I never intended for you to only survive. Yes, I gave you resilience. Yes, I placed endurance in your bones. But you were not created just to endure life. You were created to live it fully, deeply, joyfully, freely. You've spent so long in survival mode that rest now feels like weakness, peace feels foreign, and joy Joy feels like something meant for others, but not for you. But child, I am calling you out of that mindset. I'm inviting you into more. More than just getting through the day. More than holding your breath, waiting for the next storm. More than bracing yourself for pain, because that's what life taught you to expect. You've grown used to waiting for the other shoe to drop. But what if I told you you're allowed to expect goodness now? You're allowed to relax your shoulders. You're allowed to laugh without guilt. You're allowed to trust again, to dream again, to walk into a new season with open hands instead of clenched fists. This is what redemption looks like. Not just fixing what was broken, but lifting you into something better than what was lost. You are not meant to walk through life in spiritual exhaustion. You are not called to bear the entire world on your shoulders. That's my job, and I am very good at it. So rest, beloved, not because everything is perfect, but because I am holding it all. And in this space of rest, you'll begin to feel again. The tenderness that hardened over time will soften. The walls will lower. Your heart will begin to beat not just for survival, but for passion, for beauty, for meaning. I will teach you how to enjoy again, not in reckless ways, but in sacred ones. You'll notice the sunlight filtering through your window and feel something holy stir inside you. You'll hear a child's laughter and remember what innocence feels like. You'll taste food not just with your mouth, but with your soul, because you'll no longer be too weary to receive joy. This is the life I long for you to live. Not perfect, but full. Not predictable, but anchored in me. Not numb, but alive in every way. You don't have to apologize for stepping into abundance. You don't need permission to heal, to be happy, to be free. That permission has already been given by me, long ago, on a cross, in a garden, through a risen Savior. The door was opened. All that remains is for you to walk through it. So step out of survival, my love. Step into living. You were made for it. You were made for joy. You were made for more. And I'm going to walk with you into every bit of it. You don't have to apologize for stepping into abundance. You don't need permission to heal, to be happy, to be free. That permission has already been given by me, long ago, on a cross, in a garden, through a risen Savior. My beloved child, let's slow everything down for a moment. No more rushing, no more fixing. Just you and me right here in this breath. I know you've been carrying a lot. Too much, actually. So much that peace started to feel like a myth. A word spoken more than experienced. A dream you keep chasing but never quite catching. But peace, true peace, is not the absence of problems. It's the presence of me. You've been trained to think peace comes after the struggle, after the breakthrough, after the healing, after all the loose ends are tied up. But that's not how my peace works. My peace enters in the middle of the mess. It walks into the storm. It sits beside you in the chaos and says, you don't have to understand everything. I am here. That is enough. You've been trying to earn your rest, waiting for the to-do list to be finished, waiting for the perfect moment to finally let go and breathe. But there will always be one more thing, won't there? So let me say this clearly. You don't need permission from the world to rest. You don't need a vacation, a diagnosis, or a breakdown to justify releasing the weight. You need only my invitation. And here it is. Rest. Now, right here. You are safe with me. I see your spinning thoughts, the way they jump from fear to fear, what if to what if, past regret to future dread. I see you trying to keep it all under control, as if the whole universe depends on your ability to hold it together. But beloveds, let go. Your heart was not made to bear all burdens. It was made to carry love. to pulse with joy, to dance in freedom. Let me be the one who holds it all. Let me quiet the voices that lie to you, the ones that say you're failing, that you're behind, that you'll never feel peace again. They are not from me. My voice does not accuse. It does not rush. It does not punish. My voice calms. My voice anchors. My voice says, you are mine. All is well. So right now, I want you to feel it. Not just think about peace, but feel it. Breathe in. Let my love fill your lungs. Breathe out. Release the fear that doesn't belong to you. Stay here with me. No agenda, no striving, just stillness. Because this is the secret the world forgets. Peace isn't something you find. It's someone you know, and you know me. You've heard me in the quiet. You've felt me in the moments when you should have fallen apart, but somehow stayed standing. That was me. So let this be your new rhythm. Less proving, more presence. Less noise, more nearness. Less hustle, more holy. I am not in the whirlwind of anxiety. I am in the whisper that says, you're okay, you're held, you're deeply, endlessly, completely loved. Let that peace settle in your bones. Let it rise up in your spirit like sunlight breaking through clouds. Let it be your new foundation. Not peace that depends on perfect circumstances, but peace that flows from an unshakable source, me, and I will never leave. My beloved child, I know how much you crave clarity. You want to know where you're headed, why this season feels so long, and whether you're making the right choices. You long for a clear sign, a roadmap, a voice from the clouds that says, this is the way, walk in it. And while I've spoken in signs before, while I've parted seas and lit bushes on fire, there's something I want you to know. Sometimes the silence is sacred too. You see, your desire for direction is not wrong. It's beautiful. But more than giving you the full blueprint, I want to give you me, my presence, my whisper, my guidance step by step. If I showed you the whole path, you'd rush to the destination and forget to hold my hand. But I want this journey to be a dance, not a sprint. A walk together, not a race alone. So if all you see right now is the next small step, that's enough. That's all I ask you to take. Not the leap, not the 100 steps ahead, just this one, with me. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to know how it'll all work out. You don't have to pretend to be confident. Your trembling faith is still faith. Your small yes is still obedience. And I honor it deeply. Beloved, I'm not in a hurry with you. You are not falling behind. You are not lost. You are not late. You are simply in a chapter where the page is still being written. And I, the author, am holding the pen. So let go of the fear that says you have to figure it all out. Let go of the pressure to make perfect decisions. Let go of the lie that says you'll mess up your destiny. If you keep walking with me, you will arrive exactly where you're meant to be. Not too early, not too late, but right on time. Trust the process, even when it's foggy, even when it's unfamiliar, even when you're not sure who you're becoming. Because I see the version of you that's still hidden in hope, and I love them already. My beloved child, you've spent so much time bracing for pain, you forgot that I am also the God of surprise joys. You've grown familiar with disappointment, so familiar that you began to expect it, even from me. But let me whisper something sacred into your heart today. I am preparing joy for you, not just relief, not just a break from the struggle, but real, unshakable, unexpected joy. Yes, joy that catches you off guard. Joy that floods the places where sorrow once lived. Joy that arrives quietly and stays longer than you thought it could. Joy that doesn't ask for permission from your circumstances. You've been looking behind your back for what could go wrong. But now I want you to start looking ahead for what could go right. Because I am the God of better than expected. The God who restores the years the locusts have eaten. The God who brings laughter to Sarah's barren tent. The God who turns graves into gardens. I am doing it again. This time in your life. No, it might not come the way you imagined. It might not arrive with flashing lights or fanfare. It might come softly, slowly. A friendship that turns into family. A moment of stillness that heals your nervous heart. A new purpose that grows from old pain. You may not see it forming yet, but I do. I see the table I've set before you. I see the doors I'm unlocking. I see the healing quietly unfolding under the surface. So don't let your hope grow stale. Don't stop believing that I can still astonish you. You've survived what was meant to destroy you. Now I'm preparing what was meant to bless you. Let me shift your perspective. You're not waiting for joy. Joy is already on its way to you. And no, you don't have to earn it. You don't have to prove anything. You don't have to clean yourself up first. This joy is not a reward for being perfect. It's a promise from a perfect God who loves you wildly. So breathe again. Smile again, even if it feels fragile. Begin to open your hands again, not to fight or hold tight, but to receive. Because joy is coming, and when it does, it will feel like me. Not just a feeling, but a presence. Not just a moment, but a movement. You're not forgotten. You're not too far gone. You're not too late. You are right where you need to be, on the edge of something beautiful. And I, your God, I am already walking toward you, with joy in my hands. If you've read this far, it means something inside you stayed. Stayed through the quiet. Stayed through the ache. Stayed long enough to let love speak again. This wasn't just a message. It was a moment. Between your heart and mine. Between the ache you carried and the healing I offered. You don't need to rush now. Just sit with it. Let peace do its slow, gentle work. Let the words melt into the places that felt frozen. Let the truth rise louder than your fear. And if something in you shifted, if even a tiny light flickered back on in your soul, then don't keep it to yourself. Leave a comment below. Say, Amen. Or whisper what this message meant to you. Sometimes healing begins not in loud declarations, but in quiet agreement with truth. And maybe, just maybe, someone else needs to hear what you felt. Your voice could be the echo of hope for them. So linger. Speak if you want. Reflect if you must. But never forget, you were heard. You were seen. And you were loved completely, endlessly, tenderly. Until next time, stay close to my voice, because I'm always speaking, and I'm always with you. God, because I'm always speaking, and I'm always with you.